Reverend Gallup, will you open us in prayer, please?
Dear gracious God, we come to you in this school board meeting. We thank you for the administration, the board members, and all of the employees and the students. Thank you for being with them and be with them in this meeting for the things they have to discuss. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Gallo?
Yes.
Mrs. Grimm?
Yes.
Mr. Hiscox?
Yes.
Mr. Burketti? Mr. Smith?
Here. Item 3, adoption of the minutes.
So, second?
Any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Mr. Hiscox?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Grimm?
Yes.
Mr. Gallo?
Yes. Item 4, agenda deletions, corrections. We don't have any?
No, we do not.
Oh, we do not?
Those are just my notes.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you. Reception of visitors. I don't think we have any, but except Tom counts. He's a visitor. Welcome, Tom. We appreciate you. Consider yourself received. Okay, correspondence has already gone
I
around.
passed it around. Yes, I've been collecting a few things to share with you.
Okay, appreciate that. All right, treasurer's report.
No, nothing.
You don't have anything? Okay, all right.
Nothing. The tax rates are in there.
All right, then we will, I guess we don't act on anything you haven't presented, so we'll go to B, approve the listed bills for payment.
Well, we can go ahead and approve it.
Hmm?
My report's in there.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
All right, that's okay, then we will, I'll accept the motion to approve the treasurer's report as written, submitted in writing.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Grimm?
Yes.
Mr. Hiscox?
Yes.
Mr. Gallo?
Yes. Okay, item 7B, listed bills for payment.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Grimm?
Yes.
Mr. Hiscox?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Gallo?
Yes. Item 7C, approve the enclosed resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorize the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor with the rates as follows. Permanent improvement, inside millage 4.60, current expenses voted 1976, 21.10, current expense voted 1980, 5 mils, bond 1991, 3.1 mils, and classroom facility maintenance levy 0.5. All those are outside millage.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Mrs. Grimm?
Yes.
Mr. Hiscox?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Gallo?
Yes. Item 7D, approve and authorize the treasurer and superintendent to enter into the enclosed contracts for open enrollment handicapped pupils for the 2015-16 school year with the following districts: Beaver Local, 4 students, Crestview, 1 student, East Liverpool, 1 student, Latonia, 5 students, Southern Local, 7 students, and United Local, 2 students.
So moved.
Second. Roll call.
Mr. Hiscox?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Grimm?
Yes.
Mr. Gallo?
Yes. Item 8, establishment of the date of the next regular meeting is March 10th at 5 p.m.
Yep, that's a Thursday. Regular time. It's everyone's schedule.
Everybody all right with that? Anybody not going to be here or
No one has said
to
anything.
Cancun or anything?
It is in the fund, so.
Okay.
Great.
All right. And we'll go to item 9, new business. The following resolutions are recommended by the superintendent. Item 9A, resolve that the Lisbon Exempted Village Board of Education authorize participation in the inter-district open enrollment for 2016-17 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Shifty, you have anything?
I put in your folders where we are currently with open enrollment and the students who leave us for other districts, and we watch that carefully. That continues to affect our enrollment with our classes. So just thought I would summarize and bring you up to speed.
Thank you. Any other questions? Not? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Grimm?
Yes.
Mr. Hiscox?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Gallo?
Yes. Item 9B, resolved that the Lisbon Exempted Village Board of Education approve the following members as board liaisons to the Ohio School Boards Association for 2016. Legislative liaison.
Well, if anyone would like to do it, this year for Capitol Conference we had Mr. Hiscox as the legislative liaison and Mr. Burketti as the student liaison, who can be replaced or be nominated for.
Make that motion?
It's up to the rest of the board if they're interested in what Capitol. I don't know. Can you elaborate on what that is for Capitol
This year,
Conference?
I wasn't there this year because of work, but I mean, that's just basically going to the two main meetings and you get a voting sticker. That's about it. You know.
I'll make the motion.
Continue with
Same one.
Mr. Hiscox. Are you fine with the legislative? I know Mr.
I'll be all right.
I know Mr. Burketti is fine with the student liaison,
That's
as I've checked with him, unless anyone else was interested.
He can show up to meetings.
Scrib, do we have a second?
Say.
Do we have a second?
Yes, you do have a second.
Outstanding. All right. Roll call, please.
Me.
Mr. Smith?
I'm sorry. Wasn't paying attention. Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Grimm? Yes. Mr. Hiscox?
Yes.
Mr. Gallo?
Absolutely. Yes. Item 9C, resolve the Lisbon Exempted Village Board of Education approve the enclosed school calendar for the 2016-17 school year. You all have a copy of that in your packet.
It has not changed since we started talking about the school calendar. Very, very, very similar to this year's.
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
No discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Grimm?
Yes.
Mr. Hiscox?
Yes.
Mr. Gallo?
Yes. Item 9D, resolve the Lisbon Exempted Village Board of Education accept the classified retirement of Nancy Paterotti, cafeteria worker, effective May 31st, 2016.
So moved.
Second.
Had personnel meetings about the last 3 weeks, met with all certified and classified staff, talking about where they are in their plans. And Nancy's ready to go, so she told me that she came with a letter and said it's been a great career. She wanted to thank the board for all the years of service, and we'll honor her at the end of the year with the retirement service like we do with all of our retirees. But she's ready to go, and we'll make the necessary arrangements at the end of the year to replace her at the cafeteria.
Her letter reflects that she was here for 30 years. So we appreciate that. Okay. Roll call, please.
Mr. Hiscox?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Grimm?
Yes.
Mr. Gallo?
Yes. Item 9E, resolved that the Lisbon Exempted Village Board of Education approve the use of Lisbon oil as the new fuel supplier for the district's school buses.
So moved.
Second.
Yeah, Light and Oil was a better fit for us, and we were having some difficulties with our current fuel suppliers, so we want to make this switch and move forward.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Hiscox?
Yes.
Mrs. Grimm?
Yes.
Mr. Gallo?
Yes. Item 9F, resolved that the Lisbon Exempted Village Board of Education agree to the rules and regulations promulgated by the Ohio High School Athletic Association concerning drones.
So moved.
Second.
I see the looks,
That's a new
and I'm telling you. Did you know,
We've had drones.
right, Mr. Edenfield, did you know that there are more people with personal licenses to fly drones in this country than there are licenses to fly personal aircrafts? So we need a policy on drones in case they're flying over our football field, whatever, and they crash into our stands. We need to make sure we're covered and have a policy as far as who's flying these drones. And
We had them every Friday night last fall.
Yeah.
and we can continue to have them as long as they talk through the process with the superintendent about safety and those kind of things. So that's what the policy will be. There's steps that need to be taken so that they're just not showing up at the game flying these things. Yes.
That's our airspace.
You'll buy an extra ticket for the drill. Ticket sales.
No, you don't have to buy an extra ticket for the
Automatic reserve.
But, you know, we've got some great pictures
Oh, absolutely.
from some of our community members with these drones. So it's not that I'm banning them from district use. It's just we need to have a procedure in place for our own safety and for the safety of the people who attend our
No,
games.
you're right. We need to be out ahead of it. And we're even not.
You're not.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? Roll call.
Mr. Hiscox?
Yes.
Mrs. Grimm?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Gallo?
Yes. Item 9G, resolved that Lisbon Central Village Board of Education accept a donation from the Lisbon Lions Club for the Lisbon track team in the amount of $750.
So moved.
Second. Any comment on
We
that?
always appreciate what the Lions Club does for us. Track is right around the corner. Spring sports will be upon us. Can't thank them enough for thinking about our kids.
Appreciate it. Roll call.
Mrs. Grimm?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Hiscox?
Yes.
Mr. Gallo?
Yes. Okay, item 11, we're going to skip item 10 and go to item 11, the superintendent's report.
Okay, Mr. Enfield.
All right, very good. Just some things that have occurred, are occurring, and will be occurring in the month of February. Interim was going out last Friday, the third 9-week interim reports, and with tonight being parent-teacher conferences, that's one thing with the new calendar that's nice. You know, it gives teachers and the parents too a third data point to talk about in the conferences. You have the first 9 weeks grade, second 9 weeks grade, and even though, especially at the high school level, they're semester grades, it's year-long courses. And so now that we've had the third 9 weeks interim in, it gives another point to see where the child is, where they're going, what they need to do to finish the year strong, and things they can improve on. So that's definitely a benefit with the new calendar. Coming up February 18th, we have the junior high. We're hosting the junior high academic challenge like we always do. Students are going to be participating in that. Two of our 3 mock trial teams advanced to the regional competition, and regional competition is in Akron, and that takes place on Friday, February 19th. Mrs. Ashley Wallace, 8th grade math, always takes some of the students who are in algebra in 8th grade and has them compete in the math counts competition. The regional competition is always held at YSU. That was supposed to be today, but because of the weather, they canceled it. And that has been rescheduled for Monday, February 22nd. So last year we had a student advance to state down in Columbus, and we'll see how we do this year. I was hoping to have an updated report for that tonight, but we'll wait. We'll wait for March. And then on Friday, February 26th, there'll be the honorable merit roll lunch for the second 9 weeks. At the end of the first 9 weeks, we tried something new, and we did a Sunday bar for the students for dessert, and that went over big. So I don't know if it'll be a repeat of the Sunday bar or something else that we think they might like, but that'll be the reward for the second 9 weeks. And then, because I always like to give an academic update and a did you know fact and statistics, obviously, as mentioned by Mr. Jambroni when he came in tonight, our boys basketball team seems to have dominated the headlines the majority of the week, and was obviously the buzz of the community. And today we released the top 10 to the students who qualified for the top 10. And all 5 starters of the varsity boys basketball team are in the top 13 in the class academically, including one of the valedictorians. So those young men who are on the court representing the school on the court are doing just as good a job representing themselves and their families and everyone in the classroom as well academically. So they should be commended for that. And I've talked to Coach Huxell, and we're trying to see what possibly we could apply in terms of team academic awards as they continue to progress through their season. So.
Thank you.
Questions from Mr.
Sounds like a newspaper story.
Well, there's not much here. Let's move on. I don't know what. We can talk about drugs. Very bad. Well, I don't know, Tom. Jake, what else is going on?
Well, as Mr. Ebenfield mentioned, we had the game of the week this past Tuesday. Huge success on the court and off. Had a full house. Gymnasium was packed, so that was good for the kids to play in front of that atmosphere. Getting all kinds of positive reports from people that were either at the game or watched the game on TV about our kids, not only how they play the game of basketball, but how they act and how they do perform on the court. So that's always good to get that. We definitely had our biggest gate of the year, $2,278. So when you take into account the winter passes that we sell, that's a pretty good gate for basketball. It was nice to see the upper deck full as well. Senior night coming up, girls tonight against Southern. That'll be a 7:15 tip-off. We'll honor our 3 seniors. And then tomorrow night against Beaver Level, we'll honor the seniors for the boys basketball and the cheerleaders. Both teams were fortunate enough to earn OHSA home playoff games. The girls will play February 20th, that's a Saturday at 1 p.m. against the winner of Youngstown Ursuline and East Palestine. And the boys will have the opportunity to host 2 playoff games. The first one will be Tuesday, February 23rd against Jackson Milton. And if they win that game, they'll host Friday, February 26th against Hartman Christian. So we're coming up to the end of the season. It's been successful for both teams, and we're hoping to keep that going into the playoffs.
Is it true that the Browns are going to name you general manager, since obviously you had such success in athletics now?
I'll stay away from that job.
They're longer than 2 years. I plan to keep around longer than the Browns will. No, just to piggyback off of the 2 of them talking about Tuesday night, I had said, you know, the people on the chairback side of the gym, they remember the state championship. They remember the game against LeBron James, Akron, St. Vincent, St. Mary. But those kids on the other side that sit behind the team, they don't remember those things. They're going to remember Tuesday night. Mm-hmm. Those are the memories that they're making that they'll remember for their high school. So it was good. It was all good. Very positive. So you guys those 2 did a real nice job. It's sort of production when you have TV come in, because it's not just the 2 you see on the screen. It's a production team of what, about 10?
Yeah, 10 to 12.
Yeah, 10 to 12. So you got all kinds of things that they need, and TV timeouts and cameras on the baselines and moving the cheerleaders and the whole deal. So, but very good, very well done, Mr. Kometz.
Well, speaking of making memories.
See what I deal with every day.
There's 5 days in the school year that, unless you work down at the building, you might want to stay away from. The first is the first day of school. The second is the Halloween parties. Third is the day before Christmas. And the fourth one is today, our Valentine parties. Last one being the last day of school. But there's more sugar and pizza and fruit drink in that building down the street today, probably more so than any other day of the year. But we made it. We got through it. We have a great turnout, as a matter of fact. There's so many parents in the building, and it's just a really great event. Mr. Ebenfield mentioned we are midway through the 3rd 9 weeks, so we had a quick cleanup of our Valentine's parties for the parent-teacher conferences tonight. and those are going on as we speak. And once again, the elementary school is packed with parents for conferences. Ms. Van Leeuwen's continue to hold coding, and between our STEM program for grades 3, 4, and 5 and our coding technology program that we've been holding after the school a couple of times a year, we're really up and running with all just the STEM and the technology and integrating everything together. It's just really going great. But there's a lot of that type of things going on during the school day and after as well. Had the spelling bee last Friday up at David Anderson, grades 5 through 8. We'll be sending students to the county bee, also held at David Anderson in March. But that was a nice event. There were 40 kids from grades 5 through 8 participating in that. Spent last Friday afternoon up there. And then this time of year, another thing we're doing is beginning to plan all of our field trips, or all of our spring events. I think just about every grade level will get out of the building and take some type of field trip. Somewhat locally, Youngstown, Camp Conaquee over in PA, those type of events. And spending the winter months preparing for those, planning for them, so that once the nice weather rolls back around, we can get those things taken care of, because those are nice events for kids to take part in.
Questions for Mr. Clements?
No, I'd like to say, though, I attended the dedication of the art at the library last month, and it was very nice. Ms. Swift did a great job recognizing each of the students and their artistic ability, so if anyone gets a chance, they do have a lot of nice artwork now that they put throughout the
and
library.
that made me remember also, coming up in March, there's a county art show that we also have students participating in. It's at the Career Center. I think it's March 3rd. But there are students from all schools in the county have artwork submitted, and there will be on display that evening, March 3rd, at the Career Center.
When do honors builders go? May? Where are they going?
Where are they going? Washington?
Chicago.
Oh,
nice.
Chicago. I couldn't remember where the rotation was. But, Mr. Kometz talked about the county spelling bee. Mr. Edenfield talked about the county academic challenge. Those are held at our place. We continue to be, because we're the county seat, we continue to have those events at our place. And we open up our doors, and our facilities are nice. And yeah, it's a little extra work for our custodians and those kind of things, but we continue to open up our doors for county events like that, and it's really something that we take pride in. So, to conclude my superintendent's report, I spent about the last 3 weeks talking about 2 personnel, classified and certified, about where they were, how they felt supported, what they were frustrated with. We have February 25th is when the second part of the report card comes out. So I haven't really gotten into a lot of detail about data yet, because I'm waiting for the second half of that report card to come out, and then I will have a report for you about where I feel we are. But it was interesting to talk to the staff, because we're going to online testing this spring. So part of my interview questions to them was if they felt apprehensive about going online, because that's going to be new than just paper pencil, and how they felt the kids would do, and how they felt the district was equipped with iPads and with computer labs and those kind of things. So, all in all, I think they feel really good about it. And I heard more than once, don't worry about the clicking and the dragging part. That's the world these kids live in, especially at the elementary. Don't worry about that. As adults, we might have a hard trouble clicking and dragging, but they're immersed in that world, and that's all they do. So they don't foresee any problems with that online testing, but it was nice to talk to them, because we still have a couple months to address any of their concerns if they would have that. So we talked about that, and it was all good. It was nice to touch base with them. We talked to them about, Mr. Kometz is in his 3rd year with Mr. Walgate and Mr. Edenfield in their 2nd year. So we talked at length about what the team, how the team is leading the building from an administrative standpoint, and the support that they feel from them. to doing a nice job. So, if you have any further questions, I will
Any other questions? from
conclude my
Safety?
superintendent's report.
Hearing none, thank you. We'll move to item 10, executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of an employee. If I can get a motion in a second. And with the guarantee that we will not take any formal action after that executive session.
So,
Second.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Mrs. Grimm?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
yes.
Mr. Galloway?
Yes. Thank you very much.
When does school calendar? What are the beginning and dates on that?
You want it?